Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sisters review. This is season 5, episode 21, entitled A Vicious Cycle. We have one more episode, which will be the season finale, come next week. Lord bless us because we made it, y'all. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, sit back, relax. We're going to get right into this thing. So we, of course, pick up where we left off, which is with Zach and Joey. And Joey reveals to Zach that he and Fatima have a 9-year-old son. And the reason he showed up out of nowhere is because now this son is starting to ask questions. And, Joey asks Zach who he is. And Zach tells him that he's Fatima's fiance. And he kind of looks like, oh, maybe I done messed up by saying, too much. And so Zach assures him that he hasn't said, enough. It's fine. And as Joy begins to walk away, Zach asks for his number. And of course, Joy doesn't give it to him, as he shouldn't. Then Zach, asks, you don't want me to have your number? I'm like, sir, why would he want you to have his number? Why? He already told you or asked you, can you have Fatima call me? She already has the number. So my whole thinking is, if Joey and Fatima have each other's contact information, what's the reason he didn't call her first instead of just popping up at this house? So something is not adding up for me. I'm not sure what it is. Then I said, you know what? Well, maybe he has been calling Fatima and maybe Fatima has been ignoring him. We don't know, and we know that Tyler Perry is good for kind of presenting these new storylines as the season is about to end. And the fact that this has carried on for 3 episodes and we literally just got to know a little bit of information about Joey and this unknown 9-year-old son. I believe Joey said that they live in DC. Excuse me, I believe so. Don't quote me on that. It was DC, that they live in DC. And I'm like, what is this? So now I'm thinking, okay, did Fatima actually give birth? Is this a stepson? Is this like, what type of relationship did Fatima actually have with Joey? I'm not 100% sure. What made Fatima relocate from DC to Atlanta? I have all these questions now that may never, ever get answered as long as Sisters is on the show. But we can't do nothing about that. So we going to move right on along. So we get to the airport. And Preston walks up to Danny. And honestly, y'all, I'm starting not to like Preston. For me, every time he pops up on the screen, it's as if he's playing mind games or emotional games with Danny. We find out that Mindy, which I couldn't think of that girl name to say in my life. I'm not called her Buffy, Candy. I'm not called her all kind of names. But Mindy is this woman who, supposedly has been in love with him and who he was considering proposing to. So she's coming in town to see him. He does not seem happy about it at all. And I'm like, well, why do you have her coming? I'm sure she asked you. I'm sure, it's just, I don't know what Tyler is doing with the character of Preston, but to me, he has completely destroyed this once lovable, likable character into now he's become like a nuisance. Like he's on. I'm not gonna say he's like a Hayden because he's not that bad, but I'm like, why are you consistently going after Danny after she's told you that she cannot give you what you want from her? So it's like at this point, whatever Preston gets from Danny, whatever attitude he gets, whatever response that he gets, he rightfully deserves it because she already told you what it is and what it is not. And he is consistently pursuing her, to me, using emotionally manipulative tactics. I don't like it. And so he asked Danny, did she want to meet Mindy? And I'm like, I am not a violent person. I'm really not. And there are certain things I think I would have like natural like reflexes, or my mouth will be really vicious in certain situations. And it definitely could be. This will probably be one of those times that I would curse Preston out, because how dare you come to my job? You come directly to where I am and you ask me if I want to meet the woman who you basically have pinned me against to win your heart or to win this ring for the love of Preston. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I was like, you know what, Preston, move the hell on. Just honestly move the hell on. And he said that because he was like, I don't want you to think I'm lying to you, like, about this woman. And Danny tells him, like, I don't think you're lying, Preston. I'm like, you know, watching these couples, it's almost like I'm watching middle school kids, not even high school kids. Middle school kids have conversations about, you know, I like you. Do you like me? I want to be with you. Circle yes or no. That's the vibe I'm getting on this episode. The only time that ever worked as an adult was Brown Sugar. Okay, only Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan can pull that off. But anyway, moving right along. So then Alphabet pops up. And so he's like, you know, is he bothering you? And Preston was like, who is this? Oh, another one. I said, oh, we DJ Khaled? Another one. In my trailer breakdown, I was like, and I made this statement. I said, I don't know why Preston act like he don't know what's going on. He know what's up. Like, don't act like you don't know what's up. And this proved my point. He knows how Danny functions sexually. So he already knew that Q is somebody that Danny has been with sexually. So when Preston walks away, Danny is telling Q, like, to stay the hell away from her. Like, you had my friends locked up for something that you did. And he was like, you know, I'm not a bad person. I said, you not a bad person. Well, my dude, you not a good one. And I made this statement in my trailer breakdown. And I was like, Q has an ability to detach himself from reality and his actions. It's as if, yeah, I know I pulled a gun out on you. I know I held you at gunpoint at the bank. I know I robbed you. I know I set you up, but I'm really a good person. I'm not a bad guy. And it's like, how do you make the assessment of who you actually are? Like, honestly, I really do feel like we watching somebody with a mental illness, like, legit. And I look at him and I'm like, I don't like this character. And it's like, Tyler, what is it that we're supposed to gain from him? I don't have any compassion for Q because he makes his own decision and he has messed up people's lives. What are we supposed to get from this character? Like, I understand having villains, and sometimes, you know, when you learn the backstory or you understand why they function, you could kind of understand why he's there. But I really don't. For me, I don't understand why Q is such a prominent fixture on this show now. I really don't. But that's Tyler Perry for you. So we just gonna move right on along. So we see Hayden and Heather, and they're talking about, like, how much money she can get from Zach and all of this stuff like that. So she goes into his office and Tamara comes in. And so, Heather has to take a call. So she walks out. Tamara tells Hayden that she doesn't want him to represent Heather because, you know I really don't know you like that. But it's about how you put it on me, and I don't want another woman getting that. I said, nah, Hayden, and this is any person, okay? Don't think your penis is that good that we done had 2 sexual sessions, and all of a sudden I'm giving you a ultimatum in a sense about your job, and you gonna actually do it. Ain't nobody stuff that good, and if it is, I want you to stay far, 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 far away from me. When you messing up my bag, no, sir. And I'm like, Hayden is really falling for this. Not initially, I thought he was just going along with the program just to make Tamara happy, but that he was going to go back and tell Heather that, yes, I will represent you. Because when Heather comes back, he tells her, well, I won't be able to help you. I'm going to refer you to a colleague. I didn't go to college. I said, Tyler Perry, why do you have these women acting like this? I hate this stereotype, like, oh, you know, Zach baby mama is a gold, not a gold digger, but she's, you know, she a hood rat, she this, she that, which is one of the things that Hayden said as to why he didn't care about not representing her. Like, she ain't nothing but a hood rat. It's all good. Like, it's not serving me anyway. And so it's like, as an audience member, am I supposed to believe that Tamara's, I'm trying not to curse in this in this review of y'all, I said the hell word, but I said hell, it ain't no cuss word, but I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying not to use a lot of profanity anymore. I'm trying. So if I do, just pray for me. Don't call me out. But anyway, I'm like, so Tamara's golden box supposedly has this superpower that automatically has taken away everything that Hayden wanted to do as it pertains to Zach. Okay, not believable, but we'll go with it. So, of course, Heather is upset because Hayden's supposed to be representing her. Now, of all the people that Heather could have went and talked to, she goes to Fatima's office. I said, Tyler, miss me with this. Miss me with this. So basically, Heather goes into Fatima's office and she's basically complaining about the fact that Hayden dropped her as a client. And Fatima's whole thing, well, Zach is a good man. He'll take care of his kids. Won't you call him back, set up a meeting, come to the house. I'll call you and tell you what time to come, so on and so forth. And Heather is all about the money anyway. So when Heather walks out, Fatima was like, gotcha. Like, she talked to Heather as if she actually cared. And this is where, this is unbelievable because this is the same Fatima who, A, swabbed this woman's baby without her permission, 2, showed up to her job and assaulted her. How? You feel comfortable talking to this woman now? Like, it amazes me how Fatima has done certain things to certain women, and these women just act like it didn't happen. Like, there is no way in the world, to me, Heather being who she is and what she represents, would ever feel comfortable just having a conversation with Fatima after everything that's happened. This is truly Tyler's world to me to always make Fatima come out polished at the end. But anyway, child, moving right on along. So what happened next? There's a scene. Well, let's get to the jail scene. Again, as I talked about Calvin irritated me so much in this scene. This whole scene irritated me, but not for the reason y'all may think. When this scene first started, the instrumental music was so loud. For what? That music was so loud to me, it took away from the actual dialogue of the characters. It was so loud. And I'm like, this is 5 seasons. We're ending the 5th season. Why is this music so loud? We don't understand how to score a scene. We don't understand how volume. I know that music definitely enhances a scene, but it was so loud. It was overpowering, and it was irritating me. It was irritating me like I don't know what. But after the music kind of toned down and we got to the root of what Calvin and Sabrina was talking about, Calvin finds out that Bio is a prince. Now, of course, I believe that initially Calvin was asking some important questions like, why would he give you this? Or, is he legit? And I understand that. But all of this stuff stems from a place of jealousy with Calvin. So it comes off very petty. It comes off very like, be itchy, okay? So I'm not trying to curse, but it comes off as that. It's real messy, you know what I'm saying? Real petty, and I don't like that look on Calvin. And this has really been like his character's entire, like, this is what has like dang, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically this has been his character's like makeup the entire 5th season. He just been a hater. He asked Sabrina like, what about us? I've been at your house. I said, you been at her house. What does that mean? That's why I said I felt like we was listening to middle school kids talking about a relationship. We play after school every day. We play kickball. Doesn't that mean something? No. I said I can't. I'm not going to get into the complaining mode because we already know what we signed up for watching this show. Anyway, so Maurice comes out from jail and he's being his extra diva self. Now, let me just say this. When they get to Maurice's house and we see that Q has robbed Maurice blind, he stole everything. Maurice tried to sit down, fell on the floor because he was expecting his couch to be there. Maurice, I have said countless of times, I do not find Maurice comical. He has comical moments at times. Maurice's character is so ungrateful. He is so unappreciative. The fact that people had to borrow millions of dollars to get him out of jail. And he's not thankful. He had the nastiest attitude and disposition towards Calvin. Now, I will say this. I believe that Calvin forgets that he's part of the reason that Q is even at Maurice's house. Now, mind you, Q was sleeping outside of Maurice's door. He was like sleeping on the stairs. He cooked. I can't remember what episode this was. I think this was last season. He cooked. He told this sad sob story. Calvin felt bad for him and told Maurice that he didn't mind Q staying there. And I'm like, Maurice was totally against it. And then he went back on his word because Calvin was like, he felt comfortable with Q staying there. And I'm like, Calvin, you forgot that? Now it should have been Maurice's decision, but he was definitely influenced by Calvin. I'm like, Calvin, don't act like you're completely innocent in this, because you're not. However, none of this stuff would have happened if Maurice never messed with Q in the first place, after knowing that he was a thief to begin with. After knowing that he had just had sex with Maurice's friend in Maurice's guest room. Why would you even open up yourself to be with somebody like that? So initially, yes, the blame is definitely Maurice's. And so even when Sabrina was talking to him after Calvin left, when Sabrina was talking to him, Maurice didn't want to take any responsibility. He wanted to put all the blame on Calvin. He did not want to accept accountability either. And I'm like, I see why you have no friends. I see why no one wanted to come to your rescue. The fact that Sabrina, your coworker and manager, had to be the one to get the money to get him out. I'm so sick of Maurice at this point. I don't even see the need for him to be on the show no more. What are you bringing? What are you doing? Trying to keep it upbeat. And then Sabrina ended up leaving, and she was like, we're going to get through this. Sabrina, just go. She was like, you need to apologize to Calvin. You're still here. I said, see, Tyler, please stop having Sabrina lower herself to make Maurice happy. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm honestly sick of her always pampering him and pacifying his emotions when he's dead wrong in a lot of things that he say and does to the people who supposedly love and care about him, because I ain't seen nobody else come to his rescue. But he gets on my nerves with that. Then we see a brief scene with Karen, Andy, and Sabrina, and Sabrina is basically asking them to come over to Danny's house after work so that they could have a talk with her, because Sabrina saw her with Q. And Karen was like, remind me of college. And I hate this. I'm sorry. Tyler has made so many references to their college life, yet has not told us a damn thing about college life. What do we know? The only thing in college we know for sure about is that Andy had an abusive boyfriend who used to beat the brakes off of her. And the only thing that made her leave him alone was when he broke her ribs. And the girls did something to him. I don't know if the girls got together and killed them or what they did, but there is a story there that Tyler just refuses to reveal. But he keeps making, little pop-up notes about. And I'm like, well, what happened in college? What was Danny so worried about in college that it caused her to be promiscuous? Now, there is a video that I'm going to do concerning this Danny situation and, her whole promiscuity and all this stuff like that. And I'm going to come from a serious place. It'll be humor in some areas, but really coming from a serious place, because I will deal with that when I do the video. Anyway, so they're all going to meet at Danny's house. And so, excuse me. So what happened? Aaron brings lunch to Karen. They're in her office, and, she thanks him. And, he's just concerned, want to make sure that she's eating and taking care of herself. And she lets him know that he's a good dude. He was like, I try my best. That's when Pam walks in and lets Aaron know that there is someone by the name of Jennifer who's waiting for him. So I was looking at Aaron's body language, his facial. He didn't change anything. Like, even when he walked out to her, he kind of gave her a look like, what are you doing here? So when they walked outside, they instantly got into it. And I'm like, who is this Jennifer woman? Who is this Aaron? And so Pam was like, girl, you want to come see this? Girl, they arguing, girl. Girl, she just slapped piss out of Aaron. Like, and Karen was like, no, I don't want to see. I don't care. You're exaggerating. And so Karen finally turns around and something happens that catches her attention. And so the woman was like, you know what you did. You know what you did. And Aaron tells her, I didn't do anything to you. And she starts speaking in Spanish, like for a brief moment, and she calls him John. And Aaron tells her, you need to stop calling me John and go. So I have many questions with this. Who is this woman? Is this somebody from his past? Is this someone from his recent present? Like, who is she? You know what I'm saying? We don't know who Jennifer is, but Jennifer got a problem with John, Aaron, whoever. So I am interested in this situation as to who she actually is. So, at that point, Karen does make the decision to go outside. And of course, Pam is following behind. So the last scene of the episode is with Zach and with Zach and Fatima. So before we get to them, Fatima has the application pulled from HR that Tamara filled out. And I was like, why you don't want this girl to get a job? Like, I'm not understanding. Like, Fatima's actions for me, very questionable, and I don't like it. Just straight up, I don't like it. So she goes into the break room where Zach is, and she was like, this one part of the plan, like, no, where's my food? I was like, well, dang, Fatima, you got to greet him like that, sis. My God. You need a V8? You need a Snicker? Your hunger got you acting like this? And so Zach was like, no, we need to talk. Like, do I know everything there is to know about your life? And she was like, yeah, yeah. But she kind of like, she was saying yeah with her mouth, but her eyes and her body language was screaming, hell no, you don't. And so Zach was like, so you're not going to tell me about Joey and this 9-year-old son of yours? And she kind of looked like, oh, hell. And that's how the episode ended. To be honest, for this to be I don't have any expectations, okay? I have no expectations. The preview for next week looks very good, looks very promising, but all the previews look that way. And we know that the episode is not really, like it is. Honorable mention, because I really don't want to talk about it. Gary and Hayden, they was like, they figure that Robin does not have the money that he says he's going to have at 5:00. And Gary goes to see Andy in her office, and nothing much happens there. It was as if he was trying to make a scene, like if Robin was there and he could walk by and see him hugging. And it was like, a penis swinging contest to see who penis is bigger. And Andy tells him that, Robin isn't even there. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that was. I'm really not interested in that storyline. I really don't care. Yes, I will be reviewing Zatima for those who have asked me. I will be reviewing the show. I thank you guys. That's all I have for that. Like I said, I will be doing a video concerning Danny and this whole, sleeping around situation. I think it is worthy to explore the way that I'm thinking about. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there. One.